All right. Okay, it's been a while since I did one of these, so bear with me while I open everything and remember how to set up my screen. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna close these. Okay, that looks good. Now I just need to figure out how do I share my screen. Let's see. Source. Share screen. There you go. Okay, I need to give it access. Good. I think install system admin now. I think you can see my screen now. So that's good. I can move this, get my face back on. How do I do that? Oh, I think I need to add an overlay. There we go. There it is. It's just on the long camera. That's the right one. Oh, I can change the corner radius. That's cool. Can I make it a circle? Oh, I like the circle. Need in the center of the circle. Okay, this is nice. Let's go. Okay, which window is it sharing? This one. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Sorry for all the setup. Now we're finally in. I bump up my screen. Let's see. What do I want? I want this one, and let's open a code editor. Everything's like theme. Yes, yes. I know. I know. Examples on start. Okay. Cool. So let's do it. Let's see. Example and not the index, but the examples. Okay. Great. Okay. So I always have this example as the default. Um, oh wait, I can't see comments. Let me figure out how comments work. I'm sure there's a way of like looking at like I can put them on a different screen. Okay. Oh, let me just open them on YouTube because that's the thing. Great. Uh, can I close this? Yes. Perfect. Okay. I have comments open. I'm gonna drag me a table. Nice to see you. Show me all of the chat. Nice, and I can reply. All right. Sweet. Okay. So the thing that I want to do is I want to recreate a component that I've been working on at work. My job. But I want to build it in this one. So I want to build this component in Tailwind with UI Devtools. That's the idea. It doesn't look too scary. There's just like a few fine details over here to take care of. Oh, actually, maybe I should open the storybook so that I can gradually build up to it. Let's see, action is due. This one. Uh, Actually, you know what? Because we're only going for the style and not the behavior, I think this will do. This is a good place to start. Okay, let's flush out this term. We don't need any of this. So, uh, okay, I think at any point of time you can only see one screen because that's the setting that I have to change. Let's see, options. Huh. Let's see, my sound levels are fine, so I can close this. This is good. Where's my screen sharing settings? There we go. Don't show the current display, show the, there we go. Always show this display. That will do it. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna close every other tab. It's like 8 minutes in, and now we can actually start. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. And what I will do is try to just mock this first. So uh, to get all of these names, I actually have them written somewhere. So I'm just going to copy it from there. Let's see, I'm just going to search for PKJC fun title. There we go. User. Okay. So we have this. And now to create this whole thing, I'm going to delete a bunch of this and focus here. Actually, you know what? Let me keep this page component. Yeah, and only replace this. Okay. So of course we're gonna map through users, and whoa, that's GitHub Copilot. That's too fast for me. Copilot, Copilot. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it on. Let's see what it gives us. I want so inside this page we want this. First of all, we want this like overlay kind of a thing. So it's gonna focus on the design, not gonna focus on like opening the modal and closing it. Because yep. So let's call this an oh actually you know what? I'm just gonna not design anything. I just call everything a div for now. And I'm gonna turn off Copilot. I was wrong. It's at least like on the stream, it's very distracting. Okay, we have a div, and inside this div we have like this input thing going on. So I'm just gonna drop an input type text, placeholder, find a user, close it. This is divider thing. Just gonna put an HR for now. And then this is where I need to map. So users.map, I get the user, and I want to return, this is a list, isn't it? So this should be a UL, and then this should be an LI. Great. Now inside this LI, I want an image tag with the photo. So https github.com/ the user's login .png. This is like a hack. Like you can actually go to somebody's GitHub profile. Let me go to mine. You can go to somebody's GitHub profile and it loads this thing, right? But when you add .png, it will actually just give you that avatar. That's a open secret for you. This should have some alt text. Actually, you know, I think it should have no alt text, but you already have the handle and the name next to it, so this becomes decorational at that point. And then I'm gonna add a span with the user's login. Don't know why I add that user login, and then user's name. And then there's this checkbox, which I think for now we're going to add an input type checkbox and then see what we want for that. Cool. I'm not exporting this anywhere. Export default example. Let's see what we get. Perfect. We get everyone's big photo, we get an input, Nothing looks like the way it should. We will now write the styles. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna add the selection logic later. First, let's make this a bit pretty. So, back to my terminal. I'm gonna start DevTools server. Uh, where do I keep my config? I think it's there. It is. Okay. Cool. It's listening to update. I think. Um, yeah, it's all connected. Great. Okay. So, we're in the input right now. What we really want is to be, let's first design this thing. Um, the overlay part. So, I'm gonna anchor it there. Go to this div or this div. I think this div. And now make it background should be all white and it has border radius. Mm, okay, this is hard to see because of the background. So let's add the shadow first. Uh, I'm gonna add a large shadow to begin with and then we can fine tune it. But this should help us do the border radius. Okay, default, maybe actually medium. Cool, so this looks pretty rounded. I think probably go for even larger. Yeah, this is nicer. Okay, I always forget to look at the chart, so let me bring it back. Uh, can I actually put a chart here? Right? I can just leave it in a corner, maybe. Yeah. Um, Idekra. Sorry, I don't think that's how your name is pronounced. Idekra. Hey there. Aha, I just watched your talk at React India with that same component. Yeah, this is the component that I've been working on for like a month, maybe. So it's on top of my mind. How's your Copilot experience? I haven't used it a lot, honestly. I installed it, but barely used it. So my experience is no experience. But hopefully more and more soon. Okay, so let's go back to this input. This probably should have a border. I thought we can just put a shadow and that would be fine. Um, but maybe let's add a border. Cool. Yes, this looks better, but maybe the border is too strong. What's the light border? Yeah, I like this more. And now the shadows also look nicer with the border because there's like a separation. Okay, let's get these images tiny. So this here is, I think it's like 24 pixels. So something like this. We can make it bigger actually, 32. And of course, when you change one, it changes the code. Where is my alt tag? Yeah, it changes the code, which means, like all of them change. So of course, that's nice. Uh, okay, let's go to the parent again and make it a bit more wide. So width should be, make it bigger, make it bigger. Okay, 320, 346. I think I'm gonna go with 320. Okay, so this is at least looks like a model now. It's the same shape. Now we go for this has a border radius uh, of full, but needs to be rounded. Again, I change one, it changes all. La la la. Would it be nice to have this side by side? Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna open this in LiveFrame. Okay, let's configure LiveFrame. LiveFrame opens 5,000, it should open 3,000. There we go. So now I don't need this, I think. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, now you can see like if I change something, it will also change the code here. So What do we want? We want this like li to be like make it in the same row. So this li should be. This is a feature I wanted to test, which is like if it's an li, if and I make it a div, then this changes here. But of course, list should have li. So back to li changes la la la. Should be a display flex. Nice. Should have some padding. Now, the interesting thing over here is that the padding is actually on the parent and on the child because the hover style is interesting. Uh, let me open the demo because that's one place I have it. Let's see, how far do we have to go? This one, right? So you see that there's a hover on this. There's some padding here, but there's also like it's not on the edge. It's inset a little. So to get that, I'm gonna add padding on the divs. Padding on both ways actually. Just a little, maybe 8 pixels, and then 8 pixels. Oh, 8 is too much. Oh, 8 pixels, so 2. Hmm. Okay, this is looking nicer. This should be centered, so I have a display flex, but it should be centered. This should not be centered, so vertically centered. So this is good. Okay, now let's look at some of the sizes. Can I open this image here? Actually, no, then you won't be able to see the code. So let's keep it this way, and we'll just switch between these two. Cool. So what do I want next? I think I'm going to take care of the text styles. Uh, maybe everything is too big. I'm going to go back to this is the aspect ratio, like maintain the width and height. I'm at 8 right now. I'm going to go to like 6. Yeah, nicer. And then make, okay. So this li, we could either add some padding up and down, or we could just make it fixed height. Um, so the thing is like here we could go either, but this description can sometimes be the next line if it's too long. So I think we're going to go with like a height, but like a min height. So inside size, like this is the height. But instead of setting height, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this up and set min height. Oh, min height can only be full or screen. Interesting. Really, is this a feature that Tailwind doesn't have or I don't have? Let's see, okay. Min height has min height 0, min height full, min height screen. What if I want to use the scale for min height? Hmm. Oh, you gotta extend it. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. We could do that, or we could use height for now and then. Because I think like extending probably a boring thing. Let's see. Tailwind config theme extend. I'm extending some colors, some width, and this thing which I don't remember. So if I wanted to extend height, I'd do min height. Just use the height. Where does height come from? Not from colors. Um, something requires tailwind CSS, scale or height or oh, default config of course. Default. No, what is it called? Default config or default theme. Okay, and default theme has something. What does it have? Does it have height? Perfect. So then this should probably make sense. I don't know if this makes any sense. Let me check. Let's go to unpackage tailwind CSS. Now, even if I extend this, my radiator is too loud. That's better. So even if I extend this, will UI Devtools just pick it up? Definition, min height. Okay. The min height uses the min height scale, which means if I change the scale, I think it should pick it up. Okay. Let's see what's inside the default theme. It gets stub default config. Okay. What is a stub default config? Does this have height? Oh my god. Height. Interesting. So this is what we want. And then max height. Oh, max height has spacing. Interesting. What is spacing? Oh, okay. That is cool. Okay, so I think if we extend this, it should work. Like I said, what about using flex spaces? That would be a height, though not a min height, and flex gap. Oh yeah, so the space between these could definitely be a gap, but what I'm going for is like this height of the row of the li. I want it to have a certain height, right? But I don't want to put height, I want to put min height. So this is how you do it, I guess. Okay, where did my terminals? See, these are also logs, of course. See, so we've changed this to height to min height. Do I have a script to regenerate Tailwind? Yarn run built-in. Well, there we go. Yarn run build Tailwind. Okay. And that is great. Now let's run DevTools server again. Perfect, we're back. Let's see, size, min size. Can I reload this LiveFrame? And there we go. Now we have all of the things in min height. Beautiful. Okay, I still don't know if this will work though. So it doesn't have preview, which is a shame. Height has a preview, so let's start with that. Yes, I want them to be 40 pixels, but then I don't want it to be height. I'm going to delete that. It updates here, and I'm going to change it to min height. There we go. Okay, that will do it. Min height 40, and then I don't care about height. So I'm just going to delete this, and I can't reload here, can I? Okay, that's a shame. I'm going to open LiveFrame again. There we go. Okay, so min height. Interesting. Now let's do some text styles. Textiles. Wow, textiles. I'm gonna do this. So let's see. This is in bold. Don't need size. Need some text. Normal, medium, bold. Okay, it's medium for sure. And then I have this, which is slightly. Is it actually smaller? No, it's the same. I think it is smaller. Okay, so this is a little gray. These are too light, not accessible. This is double A. I'm gonna pick the double A one and actually make it at 6 right now. I'm gonna make it 5. Oh, this is line height, sorry. This is base. I'm gonna make it small. Perfect, that's great. Okay, so now we just need some gap. Tailwind I think has a gap utility. Let's see, yeah, it's called space. Oop. 2 spaces between everything. Causes is this consistent? This space is actually not 2, but the rest of them are. So can I override this space to right now it inherited this space? I can make it margin 1. Oh, not this side, the other side. So this thing should have margin 1. I'm not sure which has more specificity, space or margin. I think space, so this wouldn't actually work at all. Oh, I lost my comments window. Nobody's gonna get it back. There we go, that's a chat. Move it to live chat. There we go. Now putting it here so that I don't miss it. Okay, cool. So this will have to do for now. I could change. Oh, I could wrap these in a span and then it wouldn't have the space. Okay, so the image and this should be in a span. Span. Perfect. This is like one thing that you cannot do with um, the DevTools panels here, because if you want to change the logic or the HTML itself, um, I don't have it here. I don't know if I should, maybe, but for now, don't have it. Okay, so this span now, of course, this span is it doesn't have the same space, so um, this will have to be a flex thing again, and then this child should have margin right of not 2 but 1. There we go. So now everything works. There's like the overall space of 2, and then um, these two. Oh, I could actually have used, let's not use margin, let's use on the parent of this, I can use space 1, so that we're only using space. There's a space 2 on everything, and then this one span in between has space 1. Perfect. Okay, so where are we? We need some input styles. We have this checkbox, which, let me see. We have this checkbox, which is kind of fine. And we need this divider. This divider looks kind of bad. Oh, interesting. So this divider is full width, right? But we added padding on the parent. We added padding on this, which was a bad idea. The padding should only be on the UL. So I'm gonna go and delete this. And I'm gonna put some padding on, not on the LI, the UL. Okay, so actually not, we probably still want the padding Y. Like this padding is cool, only the X is a problem. So let's just remove the X padding, make it to 0, and then go to our UL. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. I think 2 looks good. Okay, great. Now that's the HR already looks almost right, but it's not. Okay, this is the HR, right? Yeah. What do we want from it? We just want like a slightly different color, I imagine. So I don't actually know how HR color works. Is it a border? It is a border. Okay. It look good. I'm gonna make it like on the blue gray, because that looks slightly better. Yeah, okay, this looks good. So now finally the input should be full width. I can make it block, and I can make it, there's a full option somewhere, this one. So now it's full, but then we need this, right? It shouldn't actually be full, it should be like just smaller. So can I do it with margin? No, right? Because that will mean it goes out. Shit. Okay. Uh, it is a block. I don't want to mess with like the border box property here. Maybe I should, or do I just put like a on the like do I wrap it in a span as well and put the padding there, right? So there's this span, maybe. Okay, let's try that. So not the checkbox, the this input. Okay, so this newly created span which should now show up. By the way, no reload, it's all syncing somehow. This span is the one that should have a not a margin, a padding. Oh, we can't see padding, can we? So this should actually be a not a span but a div. Nice. Of padding of. Let's start with one and then we'll refine it. And then coming back to this thing, did the input have any margin? Yes, that it shouldn't, right? Okay, perfect. Now you see that the input has, let me also add some border and color. Border default of 1. I'm going to go with the dark gray, blue gray style, this one. Maybe too dark, we'll find out. Yeah. And of course, like a nice chunky border radius. Is this too much? Yeah, feels like too much. So just 4. And then finally a background. Now, of course, I doubted that we can match the exact colors because this doesn't use Tailwind and this is the Tailwind default palette. So that's not the goal here. Okay. And now that we can see this, we know that this isn't enough padding. We need more padding, at least 2, right? Make it nice and crisp. Um, okay, this needs some break here. So even this thing needs some break maybe. So I'm just gonna add it to the HR, the line break, horizontal rule. Gonna add some margin of 4 so that this has just a little and this has just a little. Okay, let's see how that looks. Need to zoom out. Okay, a lot of gap here, not enough gap here. Maybe we do need more on both sides. Let's make it 2. This should have find a user, but it should also have some padding. There we go. And the font size is too big, it should be small. Ooh, more padding this way. There you go. Okay, looking a lot nicer. I'm not in love with the outline. I was too smart. You already knew adding with 100% might ignore the padding. Yep, had to remove all the padding. If I had 100% width, it wouldn't start here. It just start like not on the edge here, but a little, after the padding. So probably I can fit that with minus margin. None of that. Okay, so let's fix the outline, the focus style. So, oh, that looks good. Wait, what is this style? What is, when I like tab into this, I see like a go outline. Oh, maybe this is like LiveFrame, and then that's probably not Chrome. Yeah, there we go. This looks good. This looks bad. This is not what I. Maybe it's the right thing. This actually looks fine. I'm just probably still going to customize it. So let's go to focus. I'm going to open up the border and the outline. It shows that it's using the default browser. I'm going to change that to none. But then I'm also going to add. Oh, oh, we don't really have. How do you do this in Tailwind? You probably have to do the ring thing. outline. Yeah, how do you do? Oh, you just do custom focus. This one. Yeah, I don't have these over here. So I'm just gonna do it in code. Can't have everything. Okay, focus outline none. Nice. Focus border blue 300. No, the ring. Where do you get the ring? Okay, focus ring is the thing I want. Um, Focus ring, and the way it gets the color, I guess, is border blue 300. Okay, cool. So, okay, yeah, there it is. So, focus styles, please, and then give me. I actually want like a slightly purplish, darker color. Right? Yeah, this looks gorgeous. Okay, let's test it here as well. I think it's. Does it have both? It has this, and it has the ring. Interesting. So the did I not get outline? Oh, there we go. It should be outline none. Outline none. Nice. Okay, now when I see this, it should be. No, it's not. Interesting. I don't really know how to use this ring. Does this have double? It has double. Interesting. Uh, is that by design? Seems like a weird. Okay, let's. This. If I remove the border completely, that's not good. We do want the border. Okay, I think that's what's happening. So the ring uses the border with an opacity. So that's why if you already have a border, you'll get the border and you'll get the ring. Okay, fine. If you zoom out, it looks bad. So interesting. I don't know what's the right way to do this in Tailwind. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Focus ring. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's the way to do it. So I guess I'm not gonna do it until I figure it out. But for now, it's pretty to me. Okay, so then we have these checkboxes. Looks good. What's lacking between the two? Of course, like the font is different. I think the padding is okay. Oh, there's a shadow. There's a lot of padding here, so I think that's something we can quickly fix. Input padding should be more. Yeah. Okay, now let's move on to hover styles. Because when you hover on this, there should be like a nice ring here. I don't think I have it here. Let me open the demo again. Uh, Far away. Yeah, this. So this ring, like rounded border hover, is what we want. So first of all, let's start with just adding a hover, and I'm gonna add a background, like a nice grayish thing, very light. I think this the lightest or the second lightest is the one to go. Okay, and then this should also have some radius. Radius doesn't have to be on hover, it could just always have the radius. Of course, we can't see it, so let's see medium. Yeah, that's very nice if it matches the div, right? So the div has large, this should also have large. And then when you hover, there's this thing, right, where we did not have any padding, so it should have some padding, not on hover, just always. Um, Maybe just nice 4 pixels. Okay, turn off DevTools. Yeah, this is nice. I think it could use a little more padding. So all of them. Oh, amazing. That is great. Let me open it in Chrome as well, just so I can zoom in. Yeah, looks nice. Gorgeous. Okay. Finally, do I have cursor pointer? I don't think I do yet. Right, like I want this on hover. This should have a pointer. It's not animation. Yeah, I don't think I added that yet. So I'm just gonna go to the docs and see how do you do that. Cursor pointer. Okay. Go back here. It should be on the LI. On hover, give me a cursor pointer. Right, did it work? It, I don't think it did. Interesting. Hmm. Can I not get it? Hover. Wait, okay, let's see. Cursor pointer. Yeah, the cursor pointer works, but it doesn't work on hover. Which means you gotta configure it. Um, okay, this is what we need to have in the variant. So tailwind config variants. Variants. There we go. We have rotate. Okay, let's extend variants. I don't have hover here. That's what I want, right? Oh, cursor. Okay. Cursor, hover, and focus. That why I don't have it here. No, right? I just didn't build it. Okay, let's rebuild tailwind one more time. Let's see. For focus ring, if you don't have it by default in the UI Devtools, what about showing it in the side Devtools once it's in the class name? That will at least allow to remove it. Interesting. So it will just show up as a class that you can cross. Not a bad idea. Maybe, but I would rather just like add support for it because I think it's a widely used feature. So somewhere where I talk about outline, I should also add like instead of browser and none, I'd like focus ring, right? That'd be nice. Okay, I'm gonna add it somewhere because there's a bunch of stuff I'm doing on focus ring, cursor. Wait, cursor is probably somewhere on the list. There we go. Interactivity cursor. Okay. Yeah, these are all the features. Like there's like a bunch of things that I already support. No grids, spacing, sizing, bunch of typography, but not everything. Like letter spacing and font variant. There's always like it's a long list. So always have to be a bit careful about what I end up supporting and what I skip. But these two, like focus ring, seems like it should be by default. Like that's a popular feature. Okay, that's it. Okay, nice. Now I have focus rings. I have hover cursor. Where is it? On the LI. Hover cursor pointer works. That's perfect. Okay, now let's add some code to make it work. Like when you click on this, it should select the whole thing, right? Which means we're missing some labels and accessibility. So uh, this whole thing actually. Okay, I'm gonna try something. I'm not really sure if that's the right idea. So this LI is definitely the right thing to do. Then you have a label. This whole can okay, this might be wrong. Can I actually do HTML like add an ID here, right? Of course. So let's start there. The ID should be whatever the user login is, and then I'm gonna append it with selection or something, right? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like match the ID and label by creating like a dynamic ID here. Let's see. So ID is her login hyphen selection, so that's correct. And here I want a for where I'm basically saying the whole list that doesn't, oh, it should be HTML for probably. That's that's probably wrong. I don't think this is the way to do it. Because it has to be a label. Can't just be something random. right? Even if I add a HTML for here, it doesn't actually mean that this becomes a label. Like it has to be a label. So maybe I just wrap this, like all of the contents in a label, right? And then when I click here, anywhere, it would work. But all of our styles are wrong now, right? Because wait, let me find the label. And label. Yeah, so label is just this much. It should grow and you should be able to click here, or on the edge, anywhere. Hmm. Okay, one thing that's there in like the actual implementation of this thing is that this is not actually a checkbox because this whole thing is a option, like a list option. So, but that's not what we're doing right now. So I'm trying to think of like a easier solution. Okay, so even if this label is here, and even if we make it full, it should still engulf this so that you can click the label wherever and it work. The first thing, label should grow. So the label takes all of the space, and then this padding shouldn't actually be on the parent, should be on the label with the radius and L. So let's do that. Let's go here. This shouldn't have large, this should have 0. The label is the one that should have padding of large. And now going back, there should be no padding here. Space is of course wrong. Okay, this should not have padding. This label should have padding, right? Okay, so now this is nice. Now we just need to also remove like all of the flex styles. It doesn't matter if it's flex, right? So this is a block. The space means nothing anymore. The label, can we get the label? The label should be flex with center and with space of 2. Oh, and a min height, like everything on the label. So I'm just gonna go to the list, copy whatever styles are still left because I think I removed a bunch and add them to the label. Some of these are conflicts, good. Let's remove those. Perfect. Okay, so now everything's on the label. This is what we want. And now, yes. Now, like the whole thing is labeled. That's what you click. That's what it gets clicked. Okay. Can you undo changes when you do? Sorry, can you undo changes when you change something in UI Devtools? This is an interesting question. I went back and forth on this, and the thing that I finally settled on, at least the stance I have now, is that when you change something, let's see, like if I fill this with this, right, and I don't like it, let me make a few changes. Right, I do something and I don't like it, it changes here, and because like you have control of your code, when I do undo in my code, it's actually undoing those changes, right? So I can actually undo in the code and then these two sync. So trying to keep code as the source of truth and not this dev tool, because the dev tool is for styling. That's at least like that's how I'm thinking about it for now. I might change my mind, I'm not really sure, but it's usually like because you would always use these together, and I imagine the things we're doing where we're adding something here like a label and then adding a class name. You always have these two open. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe I should just add like a control Z here, which just changes only the style thing and not other changes. Maybe. For now, Code is the source of truth. When you do an undo in code, redo in code, it means the same thing as doing it here. All right, almost an hour in. Cool. So the final thing that I think I'd want to change here, it looks good. Now I kind of like it now. Um, looks like the real thing. The only thing I want to change is like, let's implement this. And I'm not gonna try to do the whole thing. I'm just gonna copy paste again. Let's say actions is to stories filter. Oh, this is the one I have. I'm gonna copy a bunch of code. Oh, this is not even the right code. Okay, that's okay. We can. There's no loader. I'm in the wrong example. Okay, what I really wanted is the toggle stuff. There you go. Yeah, okay, nice. Don't need DevTools for now. Just gonna keep this. So, yeah, I wanted this toggle is tiny. So when I click on an action here, so on click, I want to change the assignee, and I guess I have to pass the assignee toggle user, right? And I'm going to do this. But if I'm, okay, actually, we're not implementing the state, so it makes no sense. Maybe we will later, we'll see. The moment we start filtering and the indexes go haywire, that's when it will make sense. Okay, filter the user. Let's just implement a filter. So I have these results, which React.useState. By default, as this, I'm just going to copy users, right? And this should be results and set results. Um, then we need a filter function, and the filter goes on this input. So on change, it should call the filter, but of course, I'm not going to copy everything. I'm just going to give it the query. So event.target.value, and this filter just gets the query. So, and it needs to filter results again. So filtered, I'm gonna call it filtered users, visors. Filtered users is users, create a copy, filter it. Actually, filter would create a copy. So filter, and I'm gonna do a bunch here. So, what all should it include? So it's like if user dot login has the query, then return true. Otherwise returns false. But the same thing also for the user's name, right? Okay, probably a easier way to write this, but looks nice. And then this, of course, becomes the result. Great. So now instead of using all users, we're going to only use results. By default, everything cool. When we filter, it works. Ooh, if there's no results, then it shows nothing. So let's add another. It should have another li outside of this loop, right? Which says no results. And of course, it has horrible styles because it should have these styles. No results. And it, why would you hover or click on no results? You probably wouldn't. So just gonna get rid of hover styles. Perfect. So, and it should only be visible if there are no results. So results.length is 0. Show this, otherwise show null. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Cannot read data. What did I do? results.length. Results is an array. That sounds. Oh, is it the null? Interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's the fact that I made a null while it had an ID. Interesting. Okay, never mind. So shows no results. Why doesn't it show Dusty? Oh, because capital name casing. Everything should be lowercase. Let's go to lower case. Yeah, I want it to be case insensitive always. Okay, now we get him. But if you type capital, then you wouldn't, even though you should. So I'm gonna make this also to lowercase, or maybe just make it here to lowercase. There we go. Nice. Okay, great. Let's see. Now the test is, of course, if you select something, does it stay selected? Okay, this is a problem now. It's not a problem in the code. This is a problem in DevTools. I think I need to open this again because it's stuck in a bad state. Okay, try this again. Click filter, go to, yeah, I don't know how to fix this. If the results are changing, it's basically trying to catch something that is no longer on the screen. That is bad. Okay. See, so the moment PK goes away, it breaks. Okay. Um. Hmm. Yeah, this is the bug I was talking about. Like if you say, okay, never mind. So this is something to fix in DevTools. I think I know exactly where. Um, there's this place where we like watching for things, and that's where it breaks. Because it's watching for something like if it was watching for this, right? And then this doesn't exist on the screen because it got filtered out, kind of loses track. So that's actually, can I open this file? Oh, it opens it in main. That's no good. Space rect. So this is probably where the bug is. This one. Okay. I'm looking at the data set dot space. Oh, the bug is not here. Interesting. Probably just fix it on stream. Okay, this. Yeah, these two are where the problem is. So which one? Okay, this is not very readable. Concat space overlay visibility. It's probably this one. So who toggles overlay visibility? It's in shortcuts and it's in state. Yeah, if you press, oh, it's the global shortcut. Oh shit. Okay, this is bad. Uh, okay, so what's actually happening here is that there is this shortcut, right, which tries to do something, but when I try to type this M, I'm actually not trying to use the shortcut. I'm trying to do something else. But like DevTools doesn't know that. So if it's not enabled, then it shouldn't try to do any of this. Let's see. Where do we use global shortcuts? Over here. Uh, Okay, so I think the fix is if it's enabled, then have these shortcuts. Otherwise, there should be no shortcuts. Because like, what are you trying to control here? Right? Okay, let me see if that works. DevTools yarn dev so that I got a fresh build rolling. Is UI Devtools coupled to React? Let me answer that. Let me test my fix and then answer that. Okay, so if I select this and now I type M, now it works because now I don't have the shortcut. I just disabled it. If DevTools is not on, then disable the shortcut. But if DevTools is on, then typing like an M here would enable the shortcut. Okay, perfect. That's good. That's good. What does this feature even do? If I do M, I can actually control this margin like through the keyboard rather than through other ways. I'll probably use that. I like that feature. Okay, cool. So good for now. We've fixed the bug. We fixed the bug as well. So great success. Fixed the bug. This looks pretty. Selection logic is broken because well we didn't really do a good job at it. Let's add a key here. Key user.login. And now I think it should be better. Yeah, there you go. That was it. Oh, but it loses the state because it re-renders. Yeah, so we'll have to persist it in user state. Like there has to be selected false here, which becomes true. Not going to do it right now. I think we've made enough progress. Is UI Devtools very coupled to React? Would it work with React and other JSX based UI libraries? The answer is maybe. It would definitely work with Preact. I'm not. Okay, you're saying it's JSX based. I haven't actually looked at Solid.js, but if it is JSX based, then yes. Because um, React is just yeah, like React is not actually a hard coupling. It's JSX. So where do I show this? Let me open another Chrome. So the way that any of this works is that when you run the Babel plugin, um, let me show you. So I have a Babel RC in this project, which adds, this is the next project, which adds this DevTools plugin. And as long as you have Babel and JSX, you would end up getting something like this, where each element here, only in dev mode, of course, has this extra information. So it has like, what is the file name and what is the type, right? And that's how I actually figure out where should the modifications go. And even the server to what is it called, transform. Even this thing, the code that actually makes the transform, it doesn't have anything specific to React. It only cares about JSX opening elements. So if you have a JSX element, which all of these are, it finds the element and then it can manipulate the class names or the tag name, etc. So yeah, I think that should work. It's always a bit tricky to say if it will, like Preact I've tested, so I know it works, but it's always a little tricky to know because most of the time what you run into is that there might be another transform that's that's interfering with this, and then it just requires like some light manipulation. For example, there's like a view um, experiment that somebody did, right? And they actually made it work with view. Let's see, where is the package? It's not DevTools, it's DevTools view. Yeah, so somebody did like a view experiment, and they were able to make it work with Vue because Vue doesn't use JSX, but it's very similar, and all of the other concepts remains the same. So you had to replace the Babel plugin with something like a Vue transform, um, but that's it. Does this use JS CodeShift? No, I migrated away from JS CodeShift to something called tsmorph, which is really nice. A coworker, Christian, introduced me to it. Um, it's been really nice. Yeah, I find it way easier to work with than JS CodeShift. Cool. So I'm gonna close the card now. I think this is, I like it. It's good. It works. It looks pretty. So that's a nice place to start. Nice place to stop. Okay, going to end the stream in three, two, one, now.